Eala confident heading to Australian Open. Manila, Philippines. Alexandra Eala said she feels confident heading to her Australian Open main draw debut. The Filipino tennis hotshot drew that confidence from her semi-final finish at the ASB Classic in Auckland, New Zealand last week. My semis finish in Auckland was definitely great for confidence," said Eala in a press conference Friday. "Getting matches always helps before slams, so I'm confident with how I'm playing. It doesn't mean that matches aren't going to be tough here, so I'm ready for playing here." World number 49 Eala opens her campaign against number 100 Alicia Parks of the United States on Monday. Falling in the first round of the qualifiers in each of the last 3 years, Eala expressed excitement at finally playing in the main draw of the first major of the year. The Australian Open is the only Grand Slam that Eala hasn't played at yet, making her debut at the Roland Garros, Wimbledon, and US Open last year. "It feels great, I'm super excited," said Eala, who played one exhibition match at the Crillon Classic, repeating over Croatian Dana Vekic, 6-3, 6-4, last Wednesday. Coming in as a main draw player gives a different vibe, especially with the struggles I had in the past coming here. So I'm super excited coming here in full force," added Eala, who was hailed as the Crillon Classic champ and was given the Yvonne Goolagong-Collie Trophy Friday. The Melbourne Sun has a way of revealing truths. It exposes preparation, punishes hesitation, and rewards belief. As the gates of Melbourne Park prepare to swing open for another Australian Open, Alexandra Eala walks into the season carrying something she has worked years to earn. Not hype, not hope, but confidence. It is a quiet confidence, the kind that doesn't shout for attention but stands firm when the first ball is struck. For Eala, this Australian Open is more than just another tournament on the calendar. It is the culmination of long nights, early mornings, and years spent chasing a dream that once felt distant. Now, as she steps onto the hard courts of Australia's Summer Slam, she does so knowing she belongs. Built, not borrowed. Confidence is not borrowed in professional tennis, it is built point by point. Eala's belief has been forged through experience, not assumption. Over the past year, she has faced higher-ranked opponents, survived momentum swings, and learned how thin the margin is between winning and learning. Each match has added another layer to her growth. She arrives in Melbourne having tested herself against elite competition, understanding her strengths more clearly than ever. Her left-handed game, once seen as a novelty, has matured into a weapon, sharp angles, clever changes of pace, and a calmness under pressure that belies her age. "I feel ready," is not something a player says lightly at a Grand Slam. For Eala, it reflects trust in her preparation rather than expectations of results. From promise to presence. For years, Eala was labeled as the future, a junior Grand Slam champion, a talented prospect from the Philippines, a player with potential. But the Australian Open represents a shift in language. This is no longer about what she might become, it's about who she already is. She steps into Melbourne as a professional who understands the demands of the tour, the physical grind, the mental chess match, and the emotional balance required to survive tennis's biggest stages. The wide courts and punishing rallies of the Australian Open are a test of endurance, and Eala welcomes that challenge. She knows the heat will rise. She knows the rallies will stretch. And she knows that belief, once tested, must hold. The calm before the roar. Walking through Melbourne Park during the opening days of a Grand Slam is overwhelming for many players. The noise, the history, the pressure, it can swallow confidence whole. Eala, however, seems grounded by it. Perhaps it's because she has carried the weight of expectation for so long. As one of the most prominent athletes from her country, she understands responsibility. But she has learned to separate pride from pressure. What once felt heavy now feels empowering. This time, she is not trying to prove she belongs. She knows she does. Prepared for the moment. What sets Eala apart heading into this Australian Open is not bravado, but clarity. She understands her game plan. She knows what she does well, and what still needs refining. That awareness allows her to step onto court with purpose instead of panic. Confidence, in her case, does not mean predicting victories. It means trusting the process when the match tightens. It means accepting nerves without letting them dictate decisions. It means staying present when the moment grows loud. In Melbourne, where matches can swing in the space of a single game, that mindset is invaluable. A nation watching, a player centered. Back home, fans watch closely. Every serve, every rally, every result carries significance. Eala represents more than herself, but she no longer lets that overwhelm her. She has learned that playing freely is the best way to honor those who support her. Rather than shrinking under attention, she has grown into it. Her confidence now acts as a bridge between her roots and her ambitions, a reminder that belief can travel far, from quiet practice courts to the biggest stages in the sport. Confidence without limits. As the Australian Open begins, Eala stands at the edge of opportunity. She doesn't arrive chasing miracles or fearing outcomes. She arrives ready to compete. And that, perhaps, is the most dangerous version of any athlete. Confident. Prepared. Present. Whatever unfolds under the Melbourne sun, one thing is clear: Eala is no longer just stepping into the Australian Open. She is stepping forward, trusting her game, trusting her journey, and trusting that she has earned her place on tennis's grandest stage.